Hey guys, Laura again with the Buckeye Pokemon League, bringing you coverage from the Sandusky Fall 2012 Battle Roads. This is round 2. We have Mike McElwain on the left and Justin Phillips on the right, playing more or less of Ezekiel's mirror match. So we will see who comes out on top. Looks like Justin gets to go first, so he's already got a big advantage in this mirror match. A lot of the card game revolves around who goes first and what you're able to do on the first turn. Justin's already going to start being able to X-Ball with Mewtwo right from the get-go, which is really good, unless Mike is able to get a Mewtwo, DCE, and plus power out in the next turn. That Mewtwo that Justin's got is pretty much just gonna sit there for a while and swing for lots of damage. Let's see, we see a level ball for a Tynamo. Tynamo and Eel obviously really important in this match. And it looks like Justin's discarding 2 Lightning Energy with an Ultra Ball. So this is already a really good turn for Justin. He's getting another Tynamo out. He's hopefully going to have some Eels up next turn. Hopefully we'll see a supporter played from him. Maybe. Okay, so he's got another Mewtwo down, and he's gonna end. So that Mewtwo is also really good because suddenly he's gonna be able, if Mike decides to go for the Mewtwo knockout, Justin can just return KO with his Mewtwo on the bench. So really, like, his turn's not even over yet, and Justin's already got a fantastic start and huge advantage in this match. Alright, Mike is finally getting to go. Hopefully he'll be able to get another Tynamo down. It is a good thing for Mike that Justin wasn't able to get a catcher last turn. Yeah, he does get another Tynamo, so he's not going to be set so far back. Let's see, he's Evioliting the Thunderous. Looks like he got an Eel off that Juniper, but I'm not sure that he was able to Juniper any Lightning Energy away. So I think what he's probably going to be doing is just charging, and might not have too many options next turn. I can't see his hand very well, so we'll see. Yep, looks like he's just gonna go ahead and charge. Charging is good here because Justin only needs 1 energy on that Mewtwo to be able to knock out his Thundurus. And if Justin does decide to knock the Thunderous out, suddenly Mike has 2 energy in his discard pile, which he should be able to use that to power up that Raikou. Of course, no one has a Sky Arrow out yet, so it's going to be a very switch-heavy game, most likely. In the mirror match, you obviously don't want to help your opponent out too much by putting your Sky Arrow down, but sometimes you just kind of need to be able to get out of the active position, and that's the only choice you have. Okay, Justin's putting a Bouffalant down. For those that don't know, he does 60 damage normally. He does 120 to EXs. And his ability reduces any damage done to him by 20. So while he does have 100 HP, Mike's Raikou is not going to be able to snipe him off the bench because of that ability, which is pretty cool. Let's see what Justin's got going on. He's got an eel down on the bench. We're going to see him catch her up a Tynamo. So he's not going to fall for it, not going to take the prize from the Thunderous, not going to put those energies in Mike's discard pile. And he's going to get rid of a little bit of the backbone of Mike's deck, try and prevent him from getting as many eels out. And he's got an Eviolite on that Mewtwo, so it's definitely going to be tough for Mike to get rid of that, unless he can pull some nonsense off. I think I see an eel in his hand, so he should be evolving into that before too long. Looks like he's trying to decide if he wants to Ultra Ball or not. I'm not sure that he has any lightning energy in hand, unfortunately for him. Alright, so he is going to Ultra Ball, get rid of the Thunderous and the Eviolite, which are both probably fine things to get rid of. He's going to get out another Eel, which is a little bit interesting. He doesn't have any energy in his discard pile yet, unless I've missed something. And I think at most he would have 1. And like I said, I don't think that he has any energy in hand. Oh, no, excuse me, he does have, looks like one of the Emerald Super Shiny energies. And I believe the last card in his hand is a catcher, so suddenly Mike is in top deck mode. He's going to catcher up one of Justin's Tynamo, knock it out, and I didn't see what his prize was, but hopefully it was a good one. Alright, Justin's putting his Mewtwo back up. As I said, he's got that other one on the bench that isn't going to take too long to power up if Mike decides to try and start a Mewtwo war. So Justin's probably not too worried about that Mewtwo being knocked out right now. Looks like he's random receiving and getting an N. Probably he's not going to want to play that. As I said, Mike only has one card. It was the prize that he just drew. And he could be incredibly lucky and top deck the best thing ever, or he could not. And probably Justin's gonna want to just let him see what he top decks. There's another Dynamo down on Justin's side to replace the one that Mike knocked out last turn. And I think he just put an Eviolite on Bouffalant, so suddenly all attacks are reduced by 40. And an Eviolite on Mewtwo. Okay, Justin is junipering away that N. Not sure that I would have used the random receiver if he was going to juniper, depending on, of course, if he's trying to get something specific out of his deck, or, maybe he was looking for a different supporter other than N. But if you're just going to wind up junipering anyway, it's probably better to try and leave some of your supporters in your deck. Looks like Justin's already starting to build up that Mewtwo on the bench. Pretty much just saying, hey, come at me, bro. I cannot tell what's in Justin's hand. Obviously he's trying to decide whether or not to play the DCE on the other Mewtwo, and leave a pretty easy prize for Mike. But I'm not sure what else he's taking his time with. Okay, well, it looks like he switched to Mewtwo so that he could Dynamotor, then retreated his Raikou. He did pay the energy cost to retreat it. There is no Sky Arrow in play yet, and like I said, not playing Sky Arrow to help your opponent out, probably a good plan in this mirror match. Of course, that Mewtwo can just come after him now, assuming that Mike is able to find a way to retreat. He's Dynamotoring before he plays a supporter. He did. I'm not sure if he top decked it or got it off his prizes. I wasn't really watching that carefully. But he did manage to get a random receiver and get an N. So that's pretty lucky for him. And an energy switch, that's interesting. I guess if he was planning on energy switching, might not have dynamotored both. Might have dynamotored just once. There's no guarantee that he'll get what he needs, which is really just an energy, although that other Mewtwo is just gonna come back and return the KO anyway. But if he doesn't get the energy here, he's just kind of in a bad situation, or if he gets a switch, he's also kind of wasted an energy switch. And it looks like he does have a switch and no energy. That kind of sucks. So, not sure that Mike is going to be able to do anything this turn. I think he's just going to have to pass. I'm sure Justin's pretty excited about that. That Mewtwo is just waiting to be knocked out if he can get a catcher. Unfortunately, the camera angle's not so good here, so I can't always see what supporters Justin is playing. I think that he just Bianca, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure. So hopefully he got an energy and a catcher, and this is pretty much game over. Otherwise, who knows? He's still got quite a good setup. Mike's gonna have to do some work to get back in this game. Well, we do finally get to see Justin have a second eel out. I'm sure that's very exciting for everyone. DCE on Raikou, which is always pretty nice because then you don't have to discard it. It is a little bit less nice when you're facing Mewtwo's, but not that big a deal. So, looks like he did not get the catcher, and he's just gonna Volt Bolt an eel. But honestly, that shouldn't set him back that much, if at all. He's taking a prize, getting rid of some of the energy acceleration, and now Mike has to be able to catcher that Mewtwo to bring it back up. I would imagine Mike's gonna level ball here, get something out of his deck. I believe the supporter in his hand is an N, so that'll just prevent him from drawing into probably a dynamo. Or he's just gonna fail. Deck thinning, generally not a bad idea. He's, if he draws into that dynamo, or if some amazing card is the card that he draws next turn, he's probably just gonna cry because that dynamo is in his deck, taking up one extra space. At this point, it's not like it's a liability. If he wants to be able to dynamotor later, might as well put another dynamo down, because that eel is just sitting there not really doing anything for him. Let's see, he's got a DCE in hand. Not sure if he's got a catcher. Looks like he doesn't, and he's just passing again. Alright, Justin's finally got his catcher. So that Mewtwo is pretty dead meat. And a Juniper from Justin. Be nice if he had a switch, or just an attach retreat would work. Which is what we're gonna see. He can always dynamotor those energies back onto that Raikou later. Assuming he plays them on the Raikou. Yeah, so he's just gonna retreat, and I'm assuming dynamotor that energy back on. Not 100% sure why Mike decided to promote Mewtwo. Obviously Raikou doesn't have free retreat without this Gyro Bridge, so he may not have wanted to lose that energy. And he does have the energy in hand, but it's a DCE, which obviously the less energy he has to put on that Mewtwo, the better. Although, at this point, it's really just Justin's game. He's got the Raikou just about ready to knock something out. His Mewtwo's going to be able to knock out the active Mewtwo, assuming that it stays where it is. So really there's not much at this point that Mike is going to be able to do. He does get to X-Ball for 2 prizes. And Justin's got the energy, and that's game.